doing it. Hi, you guys. Oh my gosh. I hope you're having a good day. Welcome to Let's Heal Podcast with Tella. You see, I got my bright green on. Like it gives green eggs in here. It does, and that's okay. Like in a good way, though. I like Dr. Seuss. And can we give it up for our producer, Terry V? Woo! Woo! God, Jesus. Yes. Thank you guys for being here. We are on episode 6. This is 6. 6 is a good number.
Six.
Oh, I was like, are you being explicit?
You speaking this?
This show is for children. No, it's really not. Because I be cussing sometimes. And I don't want, at this point, I figure we all know, because we're all in this together, because we're doing this process together.
Spots,
but, no, it's not. It's really not. It's up and it's stuck. But I hope y'all had a good week. I'm excited. The podcast is growing. We are, on the brink of something. It's giving the moon. Like we about to put the thing on the moon. Like we about to discover some shit. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes and where it takes us. And I hope you're enjoying this too. Whenever you hear this. But, okay, so y'all. So I've been thinking. The After Hours Terry show in the back. Sir. Jesus. Late night drives with Terry V. Like, what's going on? Okay, serious. Right. No, we're talking about stuff today. No, I wanted to talk to y'all about unhealthy relationships. Like, and this, listen, I'm going to be talking from a woman's perspective, but this does not have to be like, because females be, as unhealthy as men do. So when you hear me talking about it from my perspective, I'm not just talking about all men, just the niggas that have been brought into my life. And this is not a one shoe fits all type of situation. So just listen with an open heart. Look, and if you got these things, I'm not judging you. We're not, you know what I'm saying? If you are the person I'm describing, I'm not judging you. Just know you need to go see the lady. And I am the lady. You found me. I'm the lady. So come talk to me, and we're going to work all this little out. You know what I'm saying? So you can be the best person, best woman, best man you can be. But we got to talk about unhealthy relationships. How to see the signs, right? Nobody is an angel. We all have been toxic in some facet, even when you don't want to admit it, right? But a lot of times we get stuck in cycles where we end up with the same person over and over and over. And different, it could be the same exact person, or it could be the same person in different bodies. And you're like, what the hell? How am I bringing these people to me? Right? Is that when we get into unhealthy relationships, one, a lot of times it can stem from our childhood, right? So our issues, like if you're a girl and you date men, if you don't have the healthiest relationship with your father, or you don't have a relationship with your father, or you do, right, but you maybe haven't worked through a lot of issues, that's going to show up in the men that you choose. And with women, with men who date women, or vice versa, women who date women, men who date men, we tend to date our parents if we haven't healed through a lot of the stuff, right? And it starts to, unhealthy relationships can really mess you up. Like they can keep you stuck. Like it's so crazy. I'll be thinking like, damn, I'm a completely different person. Like than I was, obviously 10 years ago because I grew, but like the relationships I was in at certain times, if I allowed those things to just keep going and growing, like I could only imagine the person I would be today. Like I would be a completely different person. Like if that was the path that God let me go on for even longer than I went on it, Oh my God. Like woo, child, I've been saved by the bell. Okay, the large bell. Okay. Because the way that my life could have been, like I heard this person talk about how they see people as paths. So if you date this person, they'll bring you down a certain path. You date this person, they'll bring you down a certain path. And when I tell you the paths to disaster God has brought me from, oh, can we give God a shout of praise? Because I never would have made it. Okay? Woo, Jesus. Oh my God. We getting it right now. God, just think about God's grace. This makes me want to run around. Okay. Call me from the depths of hell. Okay. You see what I'm talking about? Oh my God. Jesus. Like when I go through, it'd be so crazy. You know, I'll share some stories, but it's just be like, damn, you was stupid. Because how did you let this happen? How did you let this happen? How did it get this far? But yeah, once I started to see the signs, I was able to pull myself out of it. But like I said, it's rooted in our upbringing. It's rooted in the relationship we have with our father, with our mother, right, with our parental figure, because that's how we learn what love is, right? I seen my parents do a lot of arguing and fighting, excessive, name calling. It was very domestic on both sides, and so that I thought that was normal. So when I got with my son's dad, that's what we do, right? And he thought it was normal too, right? Like, which it'd be crazy when I think about it because, yeah, there's a large disadvantage between me and him. I'm 4'11", he's 6'4", so obviously that was not. I don't like. I mean, you know what I'm saying? No, we don't condone any violence. I was going to take it a completely different way. We don't condone any violence, right? A woman hitting a man, we don't condone that, And so, and we definitely don't condone men hitting women at all. We don't get down with that, because we've all experienced, or at least a lot of us have experienced domestic violence, and what that can do and how that can cause things to be unhealthy, right? Obviously, and then the cycles being passed down. And so when, like I said, with my son's dad, it was very similar to my upbringing. And thankfully, we broke up, I think when my son was about 5, but around 3 is when we stopped being physical with each other. We would still be verbal and emotional, but not as physical like we used to be. And so there were so many signs in that relationship, but I used to be so oblivious. Oh my God. Naive. I was like, wow, why would anybody ever need to lie to me? That's crazy. I'm a nice person. It's people don't give a fuck. They don't care. Right. And so, a lot of times, abusive partners or, controlling partners will find people like that, right? I had really bad codependency for a long time, because the way that I would show up in relationships was I would do for the person, and that would be I'll be waiting for them to give it back, right? So I would give them the love that I was wanting from other people, But then what would end up happening is they didn't know how to love me, right? And they would just take. They would use, right, me for whatever the benefit was, right? And it's not always, when we hear that, it's always sexual. It's not always sexual. Emotional. People, I listen to people, because I'm a therapist. But I would find myself listening to some BS because this person, I feel like this person needs me, right? This person needs my support, and I have to save them from themselves. And it's this grown big, I got to save this grown man from himself. No, that's his mama's job, right? But yeah, it could have kept me stuck in so many different ways. And, you know, I don't think I really started to pay attention to the signs of unhealthy relationships until I always knew me and my son's dad relationship was unhealthy, but it wasn't until my second relationship. Now, mind you, it's only whew, child, this is crazy. Wow. But I used to be very whoever you have a baby with, you have to marry, right? The joys of growing up in a Baptist church. It was just instilled in us. Like, you're not even supposed to have sex until marriage, right? So then when I got pregnant, I was like, oh, God, I have to be with this person or else. Like, I'm going to hell. It's like, well, trust me, that would not be the reason. And so it wasn't until I was like in my middle 20s, late 20s, that I actually was like, dated anybody else, legitly. I was a late bloomer, late to the party. So a lot of the signs that I would see would be at my big age. It was like, what the hell are you doing? Right? Like when I look back and like, I used to make so bad decisions because I was just so unaware. Like, let me this shit's crazy. This will never not be funny. Even to the point where I would when somebody was lying to me, I didn't used to be able to pick it up. It would be the craziest shit. Like, Tom, don't judge me. This shit. Okay, so mind you, I had never had a dating app a day in my life. I didn't know what the fuck a dating app was. When I was with my son's dad, I was only about him. I remember this motherfucker told me. This is a long time ago. My coworker, when I used to clean houses, was like, hey, they said they seen your baby daddy on Tinder. And I said, what's Tinder? And she was like, it's a dating app. And I said, what? She shows me and everything. And I said, what the fuck are you doing on Tinder? But I'm like, I don't know what the fuck a Tinder is, right? I don't know what it is. I mean, she's showing me shit, but I don't know how it works. I don't know. Swipe. I'm like, I don't know shit about the swipe. You know what I'm saying? So naive. Like, literally living in the dark. Obviously, for good reason. The fuck? This nigga was living his life. But, and so, you all right in there? Sorry, I knew it catch you off guard a little bit. But, yeah. No, it's cool. It happens. It's a funny story. So, I go back to the house and I say, hey, this girl, she told me she's seen you on a dating app. I said, what are you on a dating app? And he said, what are you talking about? I said, she says she's seen you on a dating app called Tinder. He tells me, y'all, I'm sorry, this shouldn't be funny. Capricorns just lie so well. It was so bad, but it was like, straight face, G. Straight face. He looked at me, he said, I'm sorry. I gotta get it out. He says, oh man, my bad. I thought it was like a music sharing app. Like, it's so funny because like he really was like dead ass. He was like, yeah, I wasn't on there doing nothing. Like, I was over there just trying to share my music with other people. Y'all want to know what I said when I seen my coworker the next day? I said, girl, he share his music because he an artist, so he share his music. That's how he was sharing his music. So you could imagine my surprise when I eventually became a single adult. It was on Tinder. And I said, niggas ain't selling mixtapes on Tinder. And if you are, you shouldn't be. And that's not the only thing you're doing. But it was like, it would be different signs. And so, you know, whether it was excessive yelling, that would happen on both sides too, because that's what I seen. You know, even in other relationships, I would have people who were disrespectful. Like, they would say things that were like, you know, they would say things to make you shrink, right? Make you feel small, like you wasn't the person who you thought you was, or like they would make you feel like you needed to lower your self-esteem or lower your standard, right? That's an unhealthy partner, right? Because a real partner will want to see you grow with them. So if you got somebody who's trying to be like, well, why would you wear something like that? Like, you know, that outfit's not for somebody like you, you know? Or like, and this can go in friendships too, right? Because I done had like crazy ass shit. Like, you're not supposed to wear yellow. You dark skinned. And it's like, what are you saying? What are you saying? You know, for the longest time, I did not wear yellow for that exact reason. And I was like, you know, to my surprise. And I'm actually like, I mean, I'm brown skinned. I consider myself dark skinned, but I'm brown skinned. And it's like people who are way darker than me, who look gorgeous in yellow. Don't play with her, right? Or people who, I've had partners who act like they was fin to harm themselves if I left. And my dumb ass would be like, oh my God, I can't leave you. Not at a time like this. Are you crazy? You're going to do that. It's as it's a tactic of control. And a lot of times in unhealthy relationships, there's an aspect of control. The partner wants to have control of the situation, wants to have control of you, wants to make you feel as if you can't live life without them. But the thing about a healthy relationship is I'm coming in 100% and you coming in 100%, and we meet, right? We're coming together. A lot of times we think it's 50%, 50%. But if you're half a person, you're going to think that I'm supposed to come and like fill your cup up, which means that if you're unhappy, if things are not going right in your life, you're going to come on this side. You're going to think it's me because I'm the other half of you. But if I'm fully me, I'm 100% me. I love myself fully as I am in my actual body, outside of you, outside of what I do for you, what I do for this relationship, me and my full self. I love myself 100%. And you feel the same way about yourself. We come in and we can be complete, right? I don't need you to fill my cup, and I don't need to, try to fill your cup. We are complete together. And so that's a healthy relationship. But if somebody is trying to use you as a doorstep, use you as a way to uplift themselves, because men will be jealous of you, which is so crazy. And it's not even just like a men thing or men focus, but your partner can be jealous of you, no matter what your orientation is. Your partner can be jealous of you, try to intimidate you, right? Like, I had this one partner I was with, and I remember when I really started to, because when I was younger, in my younger relationships, because my partner was so controlling, I didn't used to like dress up. I didn't used to do none of that. But that's who the person who I was. I would like want to wear certain outfits, and it'd be like, if you wear that outfit, we're done. And it's like, think of what? It's a skirt, right? For the longest time, I didn't wear shorts, like booty shorts, none of that. Like, I just, no like pieces that showed like the upper part of my leg, none of it. And so I was about what, 26, maybe? Like, and it was very weird for me to wear shorts for a long time. And so just because of that controlling aspect. And I remember I had this one partner who said, when I started to dress like how I really wanted to. Like, where'd you get that from? Post on Pinterest? I said, no, I put it together myself. He said, like, he hit me like I ain't had no fashion sense, which is crazy. So actually, my first profession was to go to school for fashion design and styling. I wanted to be a fashion major. And so he already knew this. You know what I'm saying? So like, oh, but that's when it clicked. Like, oh, you think you trying to get one over on me. You trying to intimidate me. Trying to make me feel as if I'm not who I believe I am, right? And a partner who doesn't want to see you elevate above them will keep you small like that. And it's unfortunate because a lot of times, you know, if you are a woman and you're a professional, you're growing, you know, business, you have a career, like whatever it is, you're excelling, you're in school, you're, you know, able to, you know, really take care of yourself. Sometimes it is this like fault put on you as if like, oh, you think you're too good for a man, you think you're too good for this relationship, you know, and it's because you have standards and you want a certain type of love, or you want a certain, a person to come in and like match your energy. There's a lot of intimidation, right? Especially just in the aspect of, you know, you kind of just got to take the end of the barrel, just be happy about it, right? If your partner, if you're that type of woman and your partner, it don't always have to be like the same financial level. I'm not saying that. Me personally, I would like a partner who makes as much or close to, if not more, what I make, right? But that's just my preference. Right? That's not everybody's preference. So it's not always about like the man has to make more or whatever. It's just more about if he's trying to if he makes more than you and he's trying to use it against you, right? Or he makes less than you and still trying to use it against you. We can find ourselves feeling stagnant and stuck. And that is such a clear, don't get me wrong, relationships have hard patches. You're going to go through difficulties. Like, relationships is not easy. Whether it's friendships, family, partner, relationships are not easy. You have to put in the work. You have to learn the person. You have to understand the person. See the person. You have to respect them, right? You got to show up. You know, everybody has their own love language. So you have to understand their love language. So that way you can come into the relationship in the best way possible, right? Just like you would want them to. Not that necessarily you have to change yourself for that person, but you're going to be like, oh, no, I want to, this person needs this. They need physical comfort when they're going through something. I want to be able to be that person, right? That's a healthy love. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have conflict. Conflict are part of the relationship. That's part of it. Right? It don't mean that y'all not gonna have moments where y'all yell at each other, or y'all have arguments, or you have, you know, frustrating conversations. It becomes a problem when somebody has an agenda. I want you to do what I told you to do. And if you don't, I'm going to do things to make you now feel uncomfortable. I'm gonna make you feel discomfort intentionally. Like I'm going to make like a partner who becomes instantly hostile the moment you ask them a question. We're like, you know, like, what's going on? I just asked you, you know, who is this? And it's like, oh my, see, that's what I'm talking about. You always trying to put a black man down. Like, nigga, I just said who's in the picture with you. You know, like, who is this, right? You know, or somebody who accuses you of things all the time, right? Who makes you feel like you've done something wrong or doesn't listen to you. Right? There are different signs, and we must be aware, one, of ourselves, right? Like, everybody is not made for everybody. So if somebody's just not, you just don't vibe with them. You don't want the same things that they want, whether that's like a committed relationship or children or, those big things. You don't have to, because by you staying in relationships that you want to leave, you want to go, that's where the real issues start coming in. That's where the infidelity, the cheating starts coming in. Look, and I say this from personal experience, okay? I should have left. Like when I was in my my marriage, I should have got out. I should never did it in the first place, but I should have got out before I got to the place where I started to do. You know what I'm saying? Just like I was the victim, I've also been a villain. Okay, and I didn't know I was getting my get back at the time. I didn't know actually, because I was so naive. It took me a while to realize what he was doing behind closed doors. But because I stayed in a relationship that I knew I was supposed to leave. And so instead of just leaving, I said I was gonna stay in for the kids. I was like, what? That's unhealthy. Just if you're staying in a relationship for the kids, get out now. Please. Okay? As a person who had parents who stayed in for me, no. It's so funny. Me and my mom always tell the story. When I was 5 years old, and I remember this very clearly, I told her, I said, y'all two don't gotta stay. Y'all don't gotta stay in a relationship. Like, and she was like, no, she was crying and shit. I'm like, no, we're gonna stay. We're not gonna leave each other. They were together for like 20-something years, but I said, you don't have to. I was 5, G. Like, please, y'all, you don't have to stay in the relationship for the children, right? If it's unhealthy, if it's not growing, if you don't want it, if you don't like them, if you don't like your partner, and I'm not just saying in the rough patches, if you don't like your partner, get out, because you're gonna make it worse. And I started, I had my infidelity. Like, I am not no saint, child. And found myself, and let me just tell you, I don't know how people cheat multiple times, because karma whooped my ass. I mean, like, karma, like the karma that you like, damn. Yep. The karma on the other side of cheating, wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Like, at all. Like, at all. Like, it literally was like my shadow side was in front of me. For when the person I cheated with. Ooh, when I tell all that shouting from the depths of hell. Okay, but I got my karma back for, stepping out on my own commitment, right? But in the midst of all of this, unhealthy relationships hurt. They break you down. They make you feel unworthy. They make you feel like you don't matter, like your voice doesn't matter, your dreams don't matter, your purpose doesn't matter, right? That you physically, life would be better without you. That's what unhealthy relationships make you feel. That is not love. And it's not a healthy love. It's not the love that you truly want. Because yes, when we're in unhealthy relationships, it doesn't mean that we don't love them. I love the hell out of those partners that I had that was unhealthy. But I was loving them out of my wounds, out of the trauma that I hadn't dealt with, out of the way that I seen love conducted for me. So then I went out and found it instead of dealing with what was actually happening. And then having to make that hard change for myself and for my son, right, and my family, because I lost somebody from domestic violence. I lost a few people from domestic violence. And that's a hard pill to swallow, to know that you could be in a relationship so unhealthy that they could kill you. That's not, like, in real time, or physically harm you in ways that you can't come back from. And then my child has to suffer that. We have to be able to know and understand these signs and this awareness, because our life shouldn't be taken because we love somebody more than we loved ourselves. Because if I'm willing to put myself in an unhealthy predicament, that's a betrayal to me, knowingly, right? So we don't want it to get to the place where people are putting their hands on each other or harming each other or killing, potentially in a relationship that could harm you or kill you. We have to be able to take ourselves out of that. Learn to heal the wound that is causing this, whether it's trauma, whether it's abandonment, whether it's unworthiness, if you got self-esteem issues, insecurities, fear of, what it means to be alone, right? Or you got loneliness, whatever it is that you're dealing with, you got to heal that first. Or you're going to keep attracting people out of that wound, right? So if it's my heart, I'm attracting people out of a broken heart. So all I'm going to do is bring more broken relationships to me. And that only just breaks me down more, right? And the people who come into our life are a reflection of us. I'll be talking about that probably more in the next episode. But the people who come into our life are reflections of us. So if you do not like your reflection, you got to change. Okay, I love this analogy, and I don't care if you don't like it. This is my podcast. It's like when you go into the mirror, right? Let's say you put on an outfit, and you go into the mirror. If you don't like the outfit, do you tell the reflection, like, girl, go change? I'm not leaving until you go change. No. No, you would have to go change if you wanted to see something different. You would have to change the outfit if you wanted to see something different. How you did your hair, you would have to change parts about yourself if you wanted the reflection to look different. So if we want the people in our life to show up in a different way, we must start to show up in another way too, right? Like I said, we'll break down that probably in the next episode. But if you're in an unhealthy relationship, even if you did wrong, because I think the hardest part about me cheating was, even though I wanted to leave the relationship before the cheating situation happened. I actually said it out loud. That I was gonna cheat. Or I cheated. Ooh, child, that was something else. To him. Out loud. Like I said, I'm about to. Right. Reckless. But one of the things that was apparent about that was, I just because I was loving out of that wound area, and I was loving, I was willing to love anything that loved me back. But damn, what was I about to say? I lost my train of thought all the way too. But anyways, it was unhealthy, and I should have got out beforehand, before I put myself in a karmic situation, right, where I had to get my karma for what I did, or the part that I then ended up playing in it. And so, if you're in an unhealthy relationship, now if you're in a domestic violent relationship, please make sure that you are calling, crisis centers. You getting support, you getting help. There's secret ways to get out of relationships if it's unhealthy, right? And if you just know it's unhealthy, you feel it's unhealthy, you have anxiety around it, fear of it, you just don't have no peace in the relationship, get out before it becomes worse, before it becomes something else, before it really hurts you in ways that emotionally, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, it will be very hard to come back from if you can, right? This is we talk about toxicity and stuff, but this is a real thing. And it could really put us in unhealthy predicaments, right? So we must detach. We must change what is in the mirror, change what we want to see about ourselves, so that way we attract it what we want. Good. I'm finishing up too. But yeah. So I wish you love, happy love, healthy love that is not out of our trauma. And let me say this real quick. sometimes relationships can come in and help us heal, right? I know I said think about the 100. But sometimes relationships can help us heal, right? So you have when I had my first secure relationship, it helped me heal a lot of like my fuck them niggas type, it helped me heal a lot of that. Like I feel like there are good men and I want to attract healthy love. Had to learn how to heal through that. But it's because I was able to have a healthy relationship with in a couple of my relationships. Like, oh, this feels good. I like this. And they didn't end up turning into commitment, but that's okay. Because sometimes every person we date, if you're dating, if you're putting yourself out there in whatever way, every person we date, we won't marry, right? Sometimes, it happens like that. You date a person for a little while and then you get married to them. That's amazing. We love hearing stories like that. It's not going to happen like that for everybody. And so you need to be mindful that, when you're dating, you're just defining who you want in your life. What kind of partner do you want? What kind of reflection do you want on the other side of you? Because that is what's going to make your life as bountiful as you want it, as beautiful as you want it, or it's going to bring you close to the depths of hell. Okay, I'm trying to tell y'all, it's hot down there. Okay, it's so hot, right? When you're messing with the devils. Okay, especially if you're Capricorn, just stay away. Just dangerous people. And Scorpios. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. So I wish you love. I wish you happy relationships, healthy friendships, because you deserve it. And if you are the problem, if I was talking about you in these, call me. Okay? Call me. Put my information down here. Give me a shout. Okay? Give me a DM. I want to help you. I want to help you grow. Okay? Because what you're doing to that girl, you can't keep doing that to her. Okay? Because karma's going to whoop your ass. And I'm going to be right there, front row watching. Okay? And if you messing with that man that you don't like, leave him alone. Okay? Or he get his sister here. Okay? Anyways.
On all that. That's on baby. That's on Mary and every little one of them lambs.
Oh, that's on my soul. On my soul. All right, this is Let's Heal Podcast, Ghetto and Black as Ever. Right. And this is episode 6.
Woo, woo.
All right, y'all have a good week. We love y'all. See you next week.